welcome back to MK Gardening. Today we get to finally reveal our plans that we've been alluding to since the beginning of the year and kind of all throughout January. We were hinting at some project that was going to involve furniture and some houseplants. As you know, we did our big houseplant haul and we had some that are behind me right now that couldn't really thrive in a normal house environment because they were more tropical. So we had a plan in store for those plants and it involved putting together a piece of furniture. So, drum roll please. We are finally jumping on board the IKEA greenhouse trend. Now, if you haven't heard of this trend, it's all over the internet, all over Instagram. Beautiful, beautiful adaptations of greenhouses within people's houses. Basically, you're taking a cabinet of some kind and turning it into a greenhouse. Now, you can do it with any old cabinet, but a lot of people, the majority of people, are using certain types from IKEA. So we wanted to kind of show you the different options that people are using and show you some inspirational photos to maybe get your mind going and talk more about how exciting this project is going to be. So IKEA has two main brands of cabinet that people are using to transform a normal but beautiful piece of furniture into an actual greenhouse where you can keep all of these plants, tropical plants that you probably would not be able to do in your house. So one of them is called MILSBO and the other one is called RUDSKA. Now the great thing about these two brands is that their products range in size and width features. So depending on your space in your home, there is a piece of furniture that would fit beautifully. So for example, the MILSBO has a very large cabinet that's just about 5.5 feet tall by about 1.5 feet depth and about 2 feet wide. So it's kind of more narrow but very tall. And normally this would be housing a lot of, books or lamps or other kind of home decor. But again, people are using these to transform them into beautiful greenhouses. The other one from MILSBO is drastically different than this kind of skinny and tall one. It's just over 3 feet high and about 3 feet long. So it's much more squat in structure and it's again about 1.5 feet deep. Both of the MILSBOs do come in white or black, so that also gives you a little bit of variety when considering them for your home. So the second one is RUDSKA, and this is the cabinet brand that Ryan went through with IKEA for my Christmas present. So this first one is the one that we have, and we're really excited about it because we think it's going to fit our space really, really nicely once it's assembled. So this one again is about 1.5 feet deep, almost 4 feet tall, and about 2.5 feet wide. So it is a little bit kind of smaller. I mean, it is 4 feet tall, so that is a little bit of height, but it's a little bit more narrow, which helps in our house, a little bit of a smaller house. But we're really excited about it. It's absolutely beautiful, we think. And again, these are just regular cabinets that people have in their house to hold things, but we have a different plan. The other one from RUDSKA is very different. So this one is around 5 feet tall, again about 1.5 feet in depth, and about 1.5 feet wide. So very skinny, and very tall. This one caught our eye as well because it's so easy to just kind of tuck beside a bookshelf even, because it kind of matches the same structure as a bookshelf, being so skinny but tall. So these are the two different brands that IKEA has that people are using to transform into greenhouses. So I just wanted to show you a little bit of pictures and some plans maybe that we have to fill them up. What kind of goes into creating a greenhouse out of a regular old cabinet, and see what you guys all think. So like I said, you can absolutely use these IKEA greenhouses to transform your space. You don't have to. People have used normal cabinets that are kind of glassed enclosed to do the same thing. Especially on Instagram, you can find fantastic photos that really, really get your mind going. But I wanted to show you some of the RUDSKA ones first. So a lot of the time you can remove some of the shelving depending on what you wanted for your space. So if you didn't want the 2 shelves that come with the RUDSKA, you can take off maybe the bottom one to house a lot more taller plants at the bottom and then more shorter ones at the top, or vice versa, however you wanted to design it. I know a lot of people also kind of spray paint them and make them a little bit more unique color-wise to kind of match their decor as well. But some people get really into it and create like this entirely different environment within their space, which I think is artwork within itself, but like a living form of artwork, and it's really exciting to see what people are doing and to fantasize what we can do with our own now. Some things that people do also is put a pegboard on the back of their IKEA greenhouse. They kind of just like screw it in and it acts as another hanging possibility. So they'll put kind of baskets in there to hang plants that just utilizes the space a lot better than just placing plants on the shelves or at the bottom. You can utilize that whole back space for smaller plants to put up and hang. I have found that some of the MILSBO ones have an elegant kind of look to them. It might just be their presence because the structure is so big, some of them, you know, so they kind of offer that strong, eye-catching place in your room or space, whatever you have. But what you'll notice when looking at these pictures is that the types of plants that are within these greenhouses are very different than a lot of the house plants and pet-friendly house plants that we would keep out in our living room or spaces that the pets could get to. There's a lot of different varieties within these greenhouses because you can have more of that tropical look, and you know that they're safe behind these glasses and your cats and dogs can't get to them and eat them. So instead of always thinking, oh, I could never have that plant because it's poisonous or it's toxic to cats or, you know, whatever, you can adapt your space, put a greenhouse in your own space, and put all of the plants that you have loved in there. I also just wanted to point out some key features that are required in order to create a greenhouse out of a cabinet. You can't just take a cabinet and put some tropical plants in there and call it a day. There are some specific things that you need in order to make it work. And one of those things is a fan. So you'll see in a lot of these pictures a fan to get that airflow going, because another one of the things that you will find in these greenhouses are humidifiers. It's very important to keep the humidity at a certain level for different plants, especially if they're tropicals within a greenhouse. So you have the humidifier going and you have a fan going to make sure all of that airflow is kind of moving around the greenhouse nicely so nothing gets diseased or bacteria starts growing. And it's also very important to have a thermometer in there to gauge what the temperature is, because again, a lot of these plants are very specific to temperatures because they're tropical and they need a perfect environment in order to thrive. And finally, another thing that you'll notice is lighting. A lot of these have lights that are attached within the greenhouse themselves with like strip lighting and other kind of unique light bulbs. And also you can notice the pegboard that a lot of the pictures that we are showing you today have as well in order to hang those plants. So those items are required in order to make the environment suitable for these kind of tropical plants. So whether it's through these videos that we're showing you right now for inspo, or if you go on Instagram and just search in IKEA greenhouses, you will notice that all of the photos will have a humidifier, a fan, thermometer. Most have some kind of lighting, and then a lot of them do have that pegboard type style in the back. And really those fan, humidifier, lights, and thermometer are the requirement to make sure that that environment is suitable for those tropical plants. So There's a lot of different varieties of products out there that people use, but I just wanted to let you know that so you didn't think that you could just go out and get a cabinet and put some plants in it and call it a greenhouse. Like, there are certain elements that have to be there in order to create that greenhouse feel. Alright, so there is some information as well as some inspiration photos for you all about the IKEA greenhouses. Again, we are getting the RUDSKA, the taller RUDSKA, the 4-foot by 3-foot one. We're going to be putting that one together very soon, so you'll be able to see what it looks like, and we'll be able to report kind of like quality and whether or not it was easily able to put together and, you know, all of that stuff, as well as giving you more information on those 4 elements that are kind of required when it comes to creating a greenhouse within your home. There's a lot of almost science stuff behind it to just make sure that environment is perfect. But again, as you can see with these videos, there is so much creativity involved, and people really do make it as beautiful as possible because it is a living piece of art in your home. We're so excited. This stand behind us, we're really excited to have as well because it houses all of our pet-friendly ones that we know are out, and then, you know, the cats and the puppy can just nibble on them and we know that they're safe. But there's so many other plants that we want to have in our home and want to make sure that everybody is safe and we are also able to enjoy the plants. So creating a greenhouse space is the perfect answer for that. So if you liked this video, give us a thumbs up, comment down below if you have any questions, and if you do have questions, we'll hopefully be able to answer them within the next couple videos as we're putting it together and putting all of the important elements and items in there and then filling it up with plants. Hopefully we'll be able to answer some of your questions during that part. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of those videos coming up in the final reveal as well when it's all completed. But we really hope that you liked this video. This is something that we've never done before, so it's pretty new to us, kind of doing a more DIY creative interior project that is also going to be housing a lot of new plant babies. So it's a little bit of Ryan and a little bit of me all mixed into one, and I think it's going to be a really fun thing to do. We hope you're having a great week and stay tuned for the next few videos. Bye.